Hey everyone, welcome back to my Baldur's Gate Saga Completionist playthrough with SCS. And now that our dual classing business is concluded, we can get back to our adventuring and investigating that slaver threat that Hendak mentioned to us in the previous episodes. But before we do that, I'd like to just showcase that in between episodes I have changed the appearances of Senashira and Kiranai to better reflect their new paths in life. So now Senashira looks like a mage and Kiranai looks like a thief. And also, before we go, I should probably sell some stuff to Bernie. So Bernie, my good man, what do you have for us? We don't need that katana, and we don't need that many helmets. We don't need this Wilder Wolf belt. And also, I think in Baldur's Gate 1 I said that Mail of the Dead sells for 2,500. It actually is 1.5. But my point was that, although I've provided incorrect information there, but the thing is that no matter what we import into Baldur's Gate 2, like whether it's Mail of the Dead or that plate mail +1, they all sell for the same amount, which is 1,500. Anyway, here we can get rid of this, get rid of all of these basic things. We don't need this short bow, need these darts, and I think that's all for now. So now we can proceed. Oh, also, we can give this robe to Senashira. Ideally, and eventually, we're going to switch to a knave's robe, which is a little bit better suited to a melee kind of fighter mage. But for now, this one will have to do. And also, this is pretty cool in gameplay mechanics terms, that a Kensei, if you dual class a Kensei to a mage, normally a Kensei, of course, cannot equip armor, but if you dual class to a mage, they can equip a robe, so at least we can have something in this slot. And yeah, now Nalia is going to approach. We've heard all that before, so we're going to deal with Nalia later. Also, continuing the topic about Senashira's spell restrictions, I just wanted to clarify one more thing. We're going to allow her to use wands, and wands are mostly like damage ones, but especially now when she is a pure class low-level mage, that's basically the only thing she's going to be able to like contribute with, because we're not going to rest, by the way, before setting out to the next adventure. So we're not going to rest and memorize any like spells for her, so wands are basically the only thing that she can do. And also the point of that kind of restriction is that so that she can't really do such powerful combos like memorize high-level, like powerful damage spells like Abidalzim's Horrid Wilting, and then use combos like unleashing 3 of those at once through chain contingency while she is fighting very well with 2 weapons and being protected with mage protections and all that. So just so that it doesn't get like too ridiculous like that. And also, these upcoming fights are going to be way more difficult than they really should be or need to be, because we essentially lost 2 level 9 Kensei party members. And so our physical damage is going to be way lower, and it's going to be very lacking, actually. But we're going to have to make do. Also, we can level up Jaheira, which through the spell scribing she managed to get a lot of experience, and she can level up in Fighter and Druid. So she gets some spell saving throws boosts, better Thaco, more hit points, and more level 4 and level 5 spells. So here I'm just going to select. We're going to change this later on, but I'm going to just select neutral poison. It's nice to have one of those because they do way more than just neutralize poison, as you can read from the description. You can actually remove different diseases and stuff with it and heal 10 hit points. And here I'm just going to pick Iron Skins, and that's going to be probably our kind of a cookie cutter selection for most of the time. 1 Insect Plague and 1 Iron Skins. Alright, and here, also speaking of wands, I should give these to Senashira. We're still not going to use Wand of Cloudkill. It is a little bit too powerful for this stage of the game. Anyway, there's going to be a basic kind of group of hobgoblins here, and they have like 2 shamans, this one and this one. So we're going to use ranged weapons to deal with those shaman, so that hopefully they can't cast anything. And Senashira is going to throw in a fireball in there. Okay, boom. That softened them up a little bit. And fortunately they didn't manage to get any spells off. They can cast some hold persons and stuff like that, and they can, if you're unlucky, they can like hold most of your party, especially in this kind of pretty narrow corridor. Now, Senashira is poisoned by their arrows of biting, and she just used a wand, so she cannot use her slow poison ability. But I think this is what I'm going to do, because I don't really want to use up these elixirs of health, which is the only other way we have of getting rid of that poison. And I guess Chihira and Minsk should go into melee. Oh, he's casting another spell there. Interrupt him. Okay, that works. I'm going to get Aerie even further away because these archers, I think, were pestering her a little bit. Actually, we can give her a potion, but she's not really doing anything productive anyway. And here I'm going to wait with Senashira for a poison tick, so that it doesn't interrupt her cast. And I think this should be it, not drop on Holy Might, this one. Alright, and she was able to get through a cast without getting interrupted. And these archers really like running away, huh? And it's such a basic group of like useless Baldur's Gate 1 opponents, essentially, and it still took us this much effort to dispose of them. Because, you know, those are the effects of not having the Kensai damage and that we had before. And these shamans also have a scroll of cure serious wounds, which is going to probably like come in handy already if things continue the way they are going. Anyway, there is in this sewer part of you know, where we are, there is kind of a puzzle, a riddle that we have to solve if we want to get a certain cool sword, and that's basically the main thing in these sewers. So of course we don't have the quest, we don't have, you know, the knowledge of it already or yet, but I am already going to pick up some parts that some items that we're going to need to solve that riddle. And here's an Otiag, and with the Otiag I think we're going to use Aganazar's Scorcher, because Otiags are immune to missile damage, but they're not immune to magic. And they have a pretty nasty, like, slow effect, and I don't really want to get my melee guys slowed, especially since I only have basically 2 melee guys, Chihira and Minsk, and out of the 2 only Minsk can really do some damage, so just don't get damaged by that fire beam. And of course Minsk is already slowed. The first attacks of this Otiag succeeded, of course. I could send in like Kiranai with a melee weapon or something, but it's not going to do much. Actually, Yoshimo maybe can contribute a little bit. I know this ochre jelly is shooting at us, but it's not a big deal. Okay. Yoshimo is slowed down as well, and also this Otiag, through the disease here that it applies, it also deals damage, which we cannot get rid of using slow poison. So we're just going to have to just suffer that damage. Oh my god, come on, just kill this simple Otiag, man. This is going to be horrible. Oh yeah, also the ochre jelly is immune to... There's also mustard jelly, and at this point I'm not sure if we can even deal with the mustard jelly, because this is ridiculous, but you know, the only character that could really contribute here is Minsk with his magical weapon. Oh, and actually Chihira is going to get this scimitar +1 for the purposes of dealing with that mustard jelly, but you know, Minsk is slowed and it's going to take a while to get that slowed off of him, and I really will need to wait it out before we engage that mustard jelly. Oh man. Do you remember when was the last time where a mustard jelly was a problem? It was actually in one of the first episodes in Baldur's Gate 1, where we were outside of the Nashkel mines, and we met Narsilicus, that mage with the 2 mustard jellies. At that point in the game, you know, they were pretty dangerous, they were pretty fearsome opponents. Oh my god, finally. And this was just an ochre jelly. Anyway, we have to heal up pretty seriously here. Fortunately, we have that ring of regeneration that will offset some of this damage. But unfortunately, I can't really do anything about it.
will be done.
It should be gone soon. But yeah, I really don't want to engage this mustard jelly with Minsk slowed.
I am ready.
But you know what? I think I am going to. Okay, Minsk is fine now. Just in time. And you know what we're also going to do? We have so many of these strength potions. Let's give the 19 strength one to Jaheira.
It is done.
So that she can actually do some stuff in combat. And hopefully this is not going to be too bad. Yeah. Keep critting, Minsk. That's what I want to see.
Speed. Certainly.
Alright, that was nice. Once that slow is not there, it's not too tough. Anyway, from this grate, we can see that there is some like murky water beneath, and we can, of course, put our hand in there, which is the most reasonable thing to do, right? Anyway, we can retrieve a hand from there after receiving some damage. And that's one of the items that we need, this hand. And one of the items that we need to solve that riddle. And the other item is already here. There are two skeletons in the wall, apparently in an embrace. And we can get a ring from here. As you can see, the cursor changes, we get a description, and we can get a special lover's ring from there.
Yes.
Right, here there's going to be a chamber with some myconids. Oh, another mustard jelly. Forgot about you. Forgot about you, dude. Let's just approach with Jaheira first. And then add Minsk. And she's slowed again. This time from the mustard jelly. Yeah. This is going to be... Like I said, these fights are going to be way more difficult than they really should be. But anyway, in the next room, there's going to be a couple of myconids, which are going to be a new type of opponent, again, in Baldur's Gate 2. And their ability is basically that they can confuse people. I should probably do it a little later, but I don't want to go back. So let's just get it over with. And I'm also not going to wait out Jaheira's slow again. I'm just going to use some wand spells, I guess. So we have the Myconid, there's going to be a Myconid King, and I think another regular Myconid, and yeah, just going to throw a fireball in there, and Aerie is going to use the Wand of Lightning when they approach. Yeah, so Jaheira is confused, it was immediately successful. I'm going to just place Minsk close to her, so if she wants to attack someone, it's going to be Minsk that has the best armor class out of the people that we have active. And yeah, let's... Oh yeah, they're also fighting this Minotaur, Andorian, but he usually like dies immediately or very fast. We can maybe snipe him for some experience. As you can see, also with the cursor, we have a number 6 here, and this is basically an indication of all of the separate 6 lightning bolts that we can direct somewhere. So I'm just going to direct 3 at the Minotaur and 3 at the Myconid King. And also Minsk, while trying to keep close to Jaheira, is going to attack that Myconid. We need to finish them off rather quickly before they start confusing too many people, but Minsk is now confused as well. Alright, the lightning bolt was pretty successful. As you can see, they actually... Oh, Andorian only had like 3 or less HP, so that killed him already. We were able to snipe 3000 experience, but you can see that these wands are... the wands of lightning are actually pretty cool. If you direct all 6 bolts onto a target, you can get, like, depending on how much they save against wand, you can get like 30 plus damage pretty consistently, even if they save. Alright, so the Myconid King is near death, we need to finish him off. Hopefully... Okay, Minsk is attacking Jaheira, that's not good. And Jaheira, of course, is out of our control as well, so we can't use a healing potion on her, for example. And of course our other characters are so good at physical damage, right?
Yes.
I'm going to use, again, as our Scorcher on this guy.
Yes.
And I'm going to even throw in some magic missiles from Aerie, just so we can actually deal some damage. Good thing that also Minsk is attacking Jaheira, that we have had both of them placed so close to each other, because they are the 2 characters with the best armor class. So Minsk is actually, you know, not hitting with all of his swings, and so is Jaheira. Probably she's going to miss some, hopefully. Okay, now she reconsidered. She's not attacking him anymore. Let's just bring all of our guys further away from that situation. This confusion is going to, you know, expire soon. There's not too much stuff to get here aside from... Okay, Minsk is chasing Sinashira now. Okay, whew. Alright, geez, these early fights. And those should be so simple if we just had our regular party. But yeah, there are going to be a problem. There are going to be epic fights in the sewers. Actually, there's not that much to do in the sewers when it comes to fighting. There are basically like 2 fights left. Anyway. But yeah, like I said, there was not too much to gain in that Myconid room, just the experience that we can get from killing them, and like a scroll there. Right, so here there was a trap. It's going to be probably a carrion crawler here at the end of this tunnel, and this is, I think, empty, but I'm going to check it out just to be sure.
Nothing dangerous, I would hope. Where Minsk goes,
quickly and
evil
precisely.
stands aside.
Alright. Now, speaking of that riddle, there's also another part, another item that we need from an encounter here. So I'm just going to go and get it right away. I'm going to go in like groups of 3. Well, Jaheira is so slow that she doesn't really matter. But I'm going to use some wands, I guess. Yeah, so here's this kobold shaman, and he has a special staff that we need. And we're just going to throw in a fireball there, and maybe deal with the others from range. So does it. Okay, hold person on Minsk. Okay, it was not effective. Just simplifies things. Not a big deal, even if it worked, but I just want to deal with this already. And here's that special shaman staff that he had. We could pick some of these bows, probably some of these arrows of fire, and a short sword +1.
What is it?
Okay, now we can progress further.
I am ready. Fleet of foot and all that.
Fleet of foot and all that. It's going to be another trap. Jaheira is still super slow. Okay, here there's going to be a room with a guy that we're actually going to talk to in a second, so that everything makes a little bit more sense. Okay, Jaheira is fine. And there's going to be another group of hobgoblins here. Just like the one we've met earlier. So, standard course of action here. Like a fireball into the fray.
Every hamster has his day.
And Jaheira, wait for it, and go forward. Actually, this shaman, yeah, was behind the corner, so he didn't even try to throw in a spell there. Minsk is going to try to pepper him with some arrows. And we need to, like, get out of this situation with Sinashira. And I think we're free to use this now. Okay, it wasn't interrupted. Nice. Okay, let's just focus our attacks. Okay, Minsk can go forth as well.
I won't let my friends be hurt.
Oh, this is something that can happen sometimes. This archer got kind of stuck in the wall. Fortunately, he moved, and now we can just attack him freely. Alright, nice. So here I'm just going to loot some stuff off of them. That shaman didn't leave a scroll for us. Okay, here it is. And we of course have too many items. Also, now that Sinashira is a mage, especially with that 25 intelligence that we still have active, but she is going to probably become our main lore character for identifying some stuff. Yeah, here's that special staff. We could actually create some good berries with it, which is a very weak healing item. But I just can't be bothered to even waste time on that. And there are some bolts +1. I don't care about those. Okay, now let's go into this room.
Yes.
And
Without
here we're going to encounter this kind of riddle situation. So some kind of a voice resounds in our head, telling us to find some keys. And if we prove our worth, this voice apparently, whatever that is, shall submit to our mastery. Listen to the words of my jailer, who cast me off so that he might pass from this world. So yeah, this is a clue that these 4 locks have to be opened. And those locks here are in the pipes, and we have to open them up in a specific order, or we're going to get a lightning bolt to our face. Anyway, so a person named Vala apparently like disposed of this person, or whatever this voice is supposed to be. Yeah, and he says to find Qualo, and we shall speak through that vessel. So apparently he kind of mind controls a person named Qualo, and we will be able to get to know a little bit more from him. Here, when we click on those pipes, we're going to always have a little clue as to what we should place, what item we should place in each pipe. And Qualo, just read this one, not the overlapping text there, but the one at the bottom. And from Qualo, we are actually going to be able to get some clues as to what order we should be using these items in.
Yes.
Alright, so let's progress to this room, and Qualo is going to be here. That's why I wanted to trigger that conversation with the voice first, before we talk to Qualo about the different clues and stuff. So here's Qualo and his pet carrion crawler. So let's talk to him. Right, so apparently he's like alone here with his only friend, that carrion crawler. So to us it is a monster, but to him that's his only companion, and I would not like to kiss it. He loves affection. He loves to taste the flesh of the unwary. It is his one weakness. Alright, I think I've heard enough. Yeah, so he tells us about some kind of a blade that is hidden most insidiously. So that's what the riddle is for, to obtain that blade. We can also ask about who he is exactly. Yeah, that's not his true name. He's basically under the influence of some kind of a mysterious power here. And here we can also ask him, yeah, where can we find this blade? The One has left clues for you. And we've found some of the clues already. We apparently met the One already. And we can ask, yeah, return with the clues. So here we can ask about the different items that we've managed to obtain. So we can ask about this ring, and it's apparently not the first and not the third in the sequence. The hand is supposed to be first, because it was Vala's hand that cast the One into the depths. His suffering is of prime importance, so that means it has to be inserted first. And the staff shall seal the bargain, so that means that it has to be last. But also from the pipes, there was one clue that mentioned a true friend, a blood of a true friend, and that true friend is this carrion crawler, and we have to kill it. And from it we are going to have this vial of blood. And if you ask Qualo about it, he's just going to have a pained like expression, so let's not bother him with that loss more. And the sequence is as follows: this one, this one, this one, and the staff is last. And of course from the description we can read that a sword rose from the water, and we managed to grasp it.
Yes.
And we get, of course, some personal experience. This is also a new thing that we've already seen in Baldur's Gate 2, but for certain quest rewards you actually get like personalized experience. So even if you have a full party, everyone gets a nice share of the experience. And now let's just talk to Qualo again. And he's going to be quite different now.
What is it? I am listening.
apparently freed from that mind control influence. And he remembers us faintly. Yeah, but it was not me that you spoke with. It was the thing, the person. I don't know. That which compelled me was the thing that spoke to you. Yeah, I don't think that it was human. Its conscience was too foreign. I can't remember. Gods, how long have I been in here? What has happened to my family? So yeah, pretty sad state of affairs. And he's going to leave. Now he's free after who knows how many years maybe of this service. Anyway, we got this sword. Got another scroll. We got this sword here, and I am going to use Aerie's identification scroll to identify it. And I'm going to scroll through the description because it is pretty important when it comes to this item, Lilarcor. So I'm going to scroll through it slowly, so if you so desire, you can pause every once in a while and read it for yourself. But this is a very fun item, very good one as well. But this is basically a talking sword. The soul of Lilarcor is basically entrapped in this sword, or like fused together with the sword. And the lines this sword has are so funny. And this is basically the reason why I think I'm going to keep Minsk for a while longer, so we can hear some of its lines, some of the stuff it says. But it's a +3 two-handed sword, which is already pretty nice. And then it confers also an immunity to charm and confusion, which is even nicer. So this is a perfect weapon for Minsk, and he's going to keep using it for a while. Okay, and here is the entrance to the slaver's main compound. So some pre-buffs are in order, I think, before we go in there, especially in this sad state of affairs that we're in, without any like physical or meaningful physical damage here. So I guess I'm going to bless up with Aerie, and Jaheira can't really do anything. You are useless, Jaheira.
What do you need? I am scared.
And when it comes to our potions, I might use a potion of oh no, I can't, because of course essentially I can't use these potions because she is a mage now. I just wanted to buff up her armor class so she doesn't get like sniped too easily by the ranged damage dealers, but I guess this bless will have to do. Actually, what am I even talking about? We have the scrolls of mirror image, and I'm going to use such a scroll so that Senashira has some protection. Okay, I'm going to wait a couple of seconds so that Aerie and Senashira can cast immediately after we enter, because the fight awaits us right away.
A quick prayer to Umberley is all that stands between me and the sea's bottom. Sure enough, eh?
Sure enough, eh? So yeah, this is Captain Haegan. Yeah, how dare you? We were doing good business in this town before you took out my partner, Leitinen, at the Copper Coronet. Why are you out to ruin me? And these first responses are pretty good. You brought ruin upon yourself. Quiet, you slaver scum. But I'm going to go with this one. Reasons don't matter to the dead. So of course he is an accomplice in this whole slaver business. Yeah, Minsk, of course, very strong feelings against slavery. So here we have this Captain Haegan, and he is going to switch to thrown axes, and he's going to throw some stuff at us. So we need to send someone to keep him busy, and that's going to be Jaheira. And everyone else, I think, in the party is going to like relocate into this corner and try to deal with this group. They have a cleric, they have some archers and some fighters. So let's just try and reposition nicely here. Senashira is going to be boring again and just do the same thing and throw a fireball in there to hopefully interrupt this priest of Cyric. Minsk is going to stay here and await the approach of these two guys. Jaheira is going to attack Captain Haegan and maybe even occupy both of them if she can. Now Aerie needs to get away. Kiranai is going to be useless. Okay, greater command on Senashira that she was able to save against, but unfortunately Minsk and Kiranai weren't. So now this situation is truly tragic. Yeah, you're talking to me? That was Lilarcor. And I think I could throw, I guess, a stinking cloud in there. Maybe disable some of them. But yeah, this is a horrible situation that Minsk is not with us.
Speak your mind. Speak without doubt.
And we're going to have to summon some distractions through this wand of monster summoning. We're going to have to run with Aerie. Alright, distractions. And do what Minsk is not able to and, like, take some of their attention. Oh yeah, Senashira's magic mirror images are out, and she can't even heal because she just used the wand. Okay, but they are now occupied. This priest, fortunately, got hit by the stinking cloud, so he's out for a little while, and the distractions managed to take the attention of these fighting guys. This archer is badly injured, so I'm going to direct Yoshimo's attacks to him. And Captain Haegan apparently got injured by Jaheira pretty nicely. We're going to drink this potion with Aerie and another one with Senashira. Okay, this guy switched targets.
I'll do it.
Like I said, these fights are going to be way more difficult than they should be. Actually, he has Flame Strike at his disposal, doing 21 damage. If Aerie didn't save against that, she would be dead. So that priest is pretty dangerous here. I should probably forego healing with Aerie and just get rid of him by directing all 6 lightning bolts at him. Should be fine. With that, this guy is just barely injured. Let's just direct this wolf at this guy to take his attention. The priest is casting again. Jaheira needs to heal and continue. Captain Haegan died, I think, in the meantime. I wasn't paying attention. So let's just direct our attacks at this guy. And we really need to get rid of that priest. Now he is the highest priority for us. Okay, that interrupted his spell, fortunately. And as you can see, if you like add up the damage, it usually is around like 30, depending on their saving throws. So pretty good damage capabilities coming from that wand, and I think I'm going to use Aghanazar's Scorcher now on him. Okay. Hopefully I'm not going to hit Minsk with it, with this beam. But this guy got hit, I think. Alright, things are looking up. But we're still far from being safe here. Oh my god! That was... that was pretty good one. I thought Aerie had her sling equipped, so I just selected her and Senashira to contribute some, possibly, you know, some range damage at this guy. But she actually had her quarterstaff, the melee weapon, selected, and she just walked right into that flame beam. Okay, that was pretty funny.
Yes.
Oh man. That greater command, by the way, as you can see, it takes out some people out of commission for a good while. Actually, let's have that one wolf occupy this archer. Alright, there's another fighter there, disabled by that stinking cloud. And our distractions are dead here on the western side. And this guy is still injured, so I think I'm going to summon another set. Alright, we have some gnolls now. I don't want Senashira to be pestered by this guy. Alright, Senashira, even as a mage, can do some damage with her 2 attacks per round, and now let's just go into the fray here. Alright, I think slowly we're getting out of the danger zone, so to speak. Actually, let's have this gnoll occupy this guy that just got up. And like focus our attacks on the guys that are injured. So this gnoll can go and occupy this guy. Manage to deal with our wolf. Wolfie! Okay, Minsk is up. And Kirina is up, which doesn't really matter that much, but Minsk. This is the damage that we need. Lilarcor. I love that item. Also, Minsk can actually talk with the sword and have some unique conversations with it, which we might explore later. Okay, we should be fine now, unless you go into melee, where you shouldn't. Alright. Alright, that's one of the two fights in here. The two major fights.
Hand of justice.
What is it?
So yeah, Aerie unfortunately is not going to be able to provide her spells, and that's what I was saving her slow spell for. I wanted to use that slow for the other big fight, but you know, I am just going to continue without her, of course. Yeah, alright, so let's check out the loot. And there's going to be like 4 composite longbows plus 1 in total in this place, and they each sell for 750 gold, which is pretty nice at this point in the game. Where did Captain Haegan die? Did he even die?
Yes?
Did he just leave? Yeah, he didn't die. This slaver guard left, and Captain Haegan left as well. He didn't die in the fight.
Without doubt. A lady, would you?
Okay, they keep running back in. I'm just going to keep chasing you.
Speak your mind. Yes?
And he healed, so let's just get rid of that guy. Here we have our cannon fodder summons. So he has nowhere to run now. So he just buffs up with... Oh my god. Just please kill him. And now some single target spells from Aerie would be nice to have.
Kicking for goodness.
Nature's servant awaits.
Jeez. Believe me, these fights are nowhere near as tough normally. Okay, now, because I wanted to loot Captain Haegan. Because he has a magical armor, he has these thrown axes, he has the key that we need to free the prisoners here, the slaves. Alright. So we're going to give all this stuff to Kiranai. Actually, she's probably going to be able to identify all that stuff. And yeah, these composite longbows plus 1. Oh yeah, I've talked about it. In Baldur's Gate 1 they would be able to provide us with a plus 3 bonus to damage, but in Baldur's Gate 2 they are nerfed by a lot. And here is Aerie's equipment, so let's just retrieve the stuff. The wands at least. Senashira is now going to have a wide variety of choices when it comes to using wands, I guess. Just get all that stuff. Jaheira. We can use this belt actually on Jaheira, just so we have someone making use out of that. And yeah, this key you don't have to hold on to.
Speak.
Okay, now there are some traps to disarm.
I can dance on the head of a pin as well.
If it must be done.
And we have 20 arrows of fire here. The designers give us these arrows because there are 2 trolls in this room,
Speak. It will
over
be
there
done.
behind that door. And there's a variety of ways of, you know, inflicting fire and acid damage that you need to finish off trolls. But you know, this is pretty merciful, I guess, for like new players, that the developers give you these arrows so that you can finish off these trolls. Because if we deal enough damage to them, they have pretty good regeneration, but we should manage to get through it. Oh yeah, Jaheira's strength potion ran out, so let's give her another one. Oh yeah, of course she used her healing potion just now. And here we don't have any more throwing daggers for Kiranai, so she's going to be even more useless. Because Senashira, I think, has better Thaco now with thrown daggers than Kiranai. Anyway, once you deal enough damage to a troll, they just fall on the ground, accompanied by that sound effect. And what I'm going to do is, I think, I'm going to use Ganazar's Scorcher. Hopefully get the 2 of them here. And that beam. I think you have to direct the beam actually directly onto the troll that lies on the ground to actually get him.
Without doubt.
Yeah. So we are going to use these arrows of fire. Sometimes it can take a couple of them in order to finish off a troll, because they can still make their saving throw, which will make us do 0 fire damage. So sometimes it can be annoying when it takes, like, you know, a couple of fire arrows to actually kill one troll. Here we can rescue this girl, and we actually can give her 100 gold, just, you know, to have a warmer feeling, I guess, about helping her. Although the chances, as Yoshimo is going to mention, the chances of her actually keeping this gold in Athkatla are pretty slim, but, you know, there is a chance that she is going to be able to get out and maybe use that gold to head home. So we get a +1 reputation from this one. There are 2 chambers with more kids, but these ones are only going to give us a little experience. They have the same, actually, dialogues that the enslaved kids in Copper Coronet had. So we've seen all that before. And we're pretty much, wow, we are a lot over time, so I think we're going to continue, because there's one big fight here, a smaller fight over there, and quite a bit of loot to still get to conclude our business in this slaver compound. So I think I'm going to end the episode here and continue in the next one. So thank you for watching, and I'm going to see you in the next episode.